I'm Dr. Katherine Harris. If your imagination lights you up but your body or your heart goes quiet the moment things get real, you are not broken. You're human. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: scan for meaning, manage risk, and protect your energy. Fantasy is a laboratory where you control the lighting, the timing, the script, and the ending. Real life is a moving target with other people's moods, smells, questions, histories, and phones that vibrate at the worst possible moment. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you as a clinician and as a calm, practical guide. I'll translate the science into everyday language so you can finally understand why you feel turned on in fantasy, but not in real life, and what to do about it without shaming yourself, forcing yourself, or pretending. Let's start with a simple picture. Imagine you have two dials inside you. One dial turns on your interest and pleasure. The other dial turns off your interest and pleasure. They are not the same dial, and they don't move in perfect opposition. Many people believe if the on dial goes up, the off dial must go down. Not always. You can turn on in your mind because fantasy flips the on dial: novelty, attention, control, while, at the same time, real-world off signals are still high: stress, performance pressure, fear of judgment, unresolved conflict, lack of time, shame, distractions. In fantasy, the off dial is silent. In reality, it's chatty. This is the first key. Desire is context-dependent. When the context is safe, spacious, and self-authored, desire rises. When the context is crowded with pressure, noise, and invisible rules, desire withdraws. Nothing is wrong with you for working exactly like this. Second key, there's a difference between body responses and felt desire. Your body can have automatic reactions to sexual or romantic cues, changes in blood flow, muscle tone, lubrication, or erections, without you feeling authentically willing, excited, or emotionally present. The reverse is also true. You can truly want closeness or intimacy while your body is slow to catch up because it needs time, warmth, or a very specific tone of interaction. This mismatch has a clinical name, but you don't need the jargon. You just need to know that concordance, your mind and body saying the same thing at the same time, is not guaranteed. Fantasy bends the rules. It drops you into a scene where concordance is easy because your brain handpicked the cues and trimmed out the reality that your nervous system doesn't like. Third key, most people are taught that desire must appear spontaneously and dramatically to be real. In clinical practice, I see two common patterns. Spontaneous desire feels like a spark that arrives out of nowhere and says, "I want." Responsive desire feels like curiosity that grows after you've already stepped into a warm, safe, unpressured moment of connection. Neither pattern is morally superior. In fantasy, you experience a condensed movie trailer that simulates spontaneity. In real life, your system may be wired for responsiveness. You don't feel turned on before you begin. You feel turned on after the right beginning has been created. If you wait forever for the fireworks to strike first, you'll decide you're defective. You're not. You're likely responsive. That means we build the conditions so that desire can arrive on its own timeline. Now let's talk about the brain for a moment, because understanding this will give you compassion for yourself. Desire lives at the intersection of three systems: reward, what feels promising; threat, what feels risky; and control, what you allow yourself to feel. Fantasy cranks reward, novelty, certainty about the outcome, perfect pacing, zero risk of awkwardness. Real life often cranks threat. Am I safe? Will I disappoint someone? Will this change the relationship? Do I have to go further than I want? And control steps in with big rules. Good people don't. Mature adults should. When threat or rules go high, your body is wise. It downshifts. You are not sabotaging yourself. You are trying to stay okay. There's another layer: attention. Desire is highly sensitive to where your attention is placed. If your attention is inside your head measuring yourself, do I look okay? Why aren't I feeling more? Should I be performing? Then your attention is not in your senses, in your breath, or in your partner's real presence. We call this spectatoring, watching yourself from the outside instead of inhabiting your own experience. Fantasy shuts off spectatoring because nobody is looking at you. You're looking at the scene. In real life, the camera turns around and points at your face. You become the critic and the actor at once. No wonder excitement wobbles. And because I care about your body as much as your story, I'll name the practical factors that matter. Sleep debt dampens desire. Chronic stress narrows your bandwidth. Certain medications, especially some antidepressants and blood pressure medicines, can alter arousal and orgasm. Alcohol may lower inhibitions, but it also dulls sensation. Hormonal transitions, postpartum, perimenopause, menopause, andropause, change the terrain. Pain, pelvic floor tension, and medical conditions add complexity. None of this means you can't. It means you deserve care, time, and a plan that respects physiology. All right, you want solutions. I'll give you a field guide. Not a list of tricks to make you perform, but a set of practices to help your mind and body meet each other in the same room, at the same time, with the same yes. First, reframe fantasy. Fantasy is information, not instruction. It shows you themes that your nervous system finds compelling: power, surrender, novelty, slowness, adoration, secrecy, risk without real risk, deep caretaking, radical acceptance. Write down 3 to 5 themes you notice across different fantasies. Then translate themes into values and conditions. If the theme is being chosen, the value might be exclusivity, attention, reassurance. If the theme is novelty, the value might be surprise, variety, play. If the theme is escape, the value might be relief from roles and responsibilities. None of these require explicit acts. They require tone, timing, and design. You can build those into real life with language, rituals, and boundaries. Second, repair the context. Think about the off dial. What shuts you down in reality? Common culprits: time pressure. We have 12 minutes before the next thing. Mental load. I'm doing the household spreadsheet in my head. Unresolved resentment, fear of obligation. If I start, I'll be expected to go further. Body image anxiety and ambient distractions. Choose one, just one, to address for the next 2 weeks. Examples: schedule a protected hour with phones off and no expectations. Renegotiate chores so your nervous system doesn't carry the full load. Have a conversation where you both agree that any pause or stop is welcomed and respected. When your body stops bracing, interest returns. Third, build a bridge from daily life to intimacy. Many people expect a cold start to feel hot. You deserve a warm start. Create a 10-minute arrival ritual. It could be as simple as washing your hands together in warm water, 3 slow breaths, and a minute of eye contact while you share one truth about your day. No problem solving allowed. Or you might choose a short body scan while seated back to back, feeling your partner's breath. The content isn't sacred, the consistency is. Rituals teach your body, we're shifting states now, and the on-dial hears the message. Fourth, replace spectatoring with sensing. Try this micro-practice, the 5-3-1 check-in. 5 seconds to notice a surface under you. 3 breaths that are longer on the exhale than on the inhale. 1 question to your body: what would make this 2% more comfortable right now? Adjust. That is not dramatic, but it is powerful. If you do it across a week, you retrain your attention to land in your senses instead of hovering in evaluation. Fifth, create a pressure-free menu. With a partner, write a list of connection activities that are sensual or affectionate, but not goal-oriented. A slow shoulder massage with clothes on, kissing without moving forward, lying together with a hand on the heart, a guided relaxation, dancing in the kitchen, reading a story out loud. Label the menu like a restaurant: appetizers, non-sexual, main dishes, sensual, desserts, maybe sexual. The rule: you choose based on curiosity, not obligation, and you can change your mind. This is how responsive desire learns to trust that you won't bulldoze it. 6th, name your brakes and install guardrails. If your off dial is pulled by fear of obligation, agree on a clear signal for pause that is always honored. If conflict is the brake, schedule repair conversations outside of intimate time and keep them to one topic with a time cap. If body image is the brake, choose lighting, temperature, and clothing that support you. Soft fabrics, blankets, warm socks, a lamp you love. These are not trivial. They are physiological interventions. Comfort is an aphrodisiac for many nervous systems. 7th, invite novelty without chaos. Novelty does not mean shock. It means new textures of attention. Swap location inside your home. Cook a new flavor together. Try a different time of day. Explore a guided meditation designed to increase warmth and presence. There are many that do not use explicit language. Choose those. If you want to include erotic media, curate thoughtfully and pay attention to how your body feels during and after. Increased warmth and connection or numbness and agitation. Your body's verdict is the data that matters. 8th, attend to your health. If you suspect medication effects, talk with your prescribing clinician about options. Sometimes a dose change or a different agent helps. If you experience pain or pelvic floor tension, seek a specialist. You deserve relief. If sleep is your missing pillar, set a bedtime the way you'd set a meeting for your favorite person. Desire is not fragile, but it is a plant. It needs light and water. 9th, refine communication. Real-life desire rises in reliable conversations. Use simple scaffolds. I feel, I need, I'm willing to try, I'm not willing to do. Replace global judgments with specifics. Instead of, you never make me feel wanted, try, when you touch me and then jump straight to the next thing, I lose the plot. What I need is 2 minutes of stillness and eye contact first. Instead of, you're not into me, try, when you don't say anything, my brain fills in stories. Could you tell me what you are enjoying as we go? Fantasy gives you a narrator. In real life, you create one together. 10th, reset your beliefs. Let's dismantle 4 myths. Myth 1, if I don't feel spontaneous desire, something is wrong. Reality, many healthy adults primarily experience responsive desire. It's valid. Myth 2, if I fantasize about something, I must actually want it. Reality, fantasy explores meaning. Consent lives in reality. You can keep a fantasy private, change it, or never enact it. Myth 3, my partner's role is to turn me on. Reality, your partner can help, but your attention, boundaries, and rituals are the true gatekeepers. Myth 4, good intimacy is effortless. Reality, good intimacy is practiced, like good conversation or good cooking. Practice does not make it fake. Practice makes it yours. You may be wondering, but why do I feel so much in my head behind closed eyes, and so little when I open them? Close your eyes right now and notice what happens. Your visual cortex quiets, imagination becomes vivid, and you can turn the camera away from yourself. When you open your eyes in real life, mirrors pop up. Literal mirrors, a partner's face that you're trying to read, the memory of an ex, a to-do list. Your brain is reallocating resources from sensation to evaluation. The antidote is not to close your eyes forever. It's to design moments where evaluation becomes unnecessary because you have clear agreements, shared expectations, and kindness about uncertainty. It's okay not to know the next step. It's okay to ask. It's okay to stop. Those sentences disarm your off dial more than any tip ever will. Let's touch the role of identity and history with care. If you grew up with messages that your body is dangerous, your desire is embarrassing, or your worth depends on pleasing others, your system learned to hide. Fantasy offered a safe cave. In adulthood, you have permission to choose new messages. Speak them out loud. I'm allowed to want. I can move slowly. I can say no and remain loved. If trauma is part of your story, Please know that avoiding shame and building control is not avoidance, it's rehabilitation. Work with a clinician who understands both nervous system physiology and the realities of relationships. The goal is not to bulldoze through fear, but to build safety so desire can come out to play. What about long-term relationships? Many couples love each other deeply and still struggle with the fantasy real-life gap. Love does not guarantee desire. Desire thrives on both safety and aliveness. Think of safety and aliveness as two wings of the same bird. Too much safety without novelty becomes sameness. Too much novelty without safety becomes chaos. Create alternating cycles. One date devoted to pure comfort, familiar food, gentle touch, early bedtime, and another devoted to small surprise, new scenery, a playful question game, a different pace. Explicitly celebrate both wings. When you name the rhythm, your body trusts it. Speaking of pace, slow down the beginning and shorten the total time. That sounds paradoxical, but here's what I mean. Spend more minutes at the start entering the moment and fewer minutes chasing a goal. For many responsive systems, the first 5 to 10 minutes determine everything. If you rush those, the door closes. If you pour attention there, the rest takes care of itself. And if the rest doesn't happen, you still succeeded because the point was connection, not proving anything. Now, a word on imagination hygiene. If most of your fantasy diet centers on experiences that would be stressful or impossible in real life, your nervous system may associate desire with unreality. You can diversify your fantasy diet. Include scenes that feel emotionally credible for you, being cherished, being playfully pursued, being in a private cocoon where time slows, being effortlessly funny together. Notice if your body responds more warmly when the fantasy is aligned with your real limits and values. This is not about censoring yourself. It's about cross-training your arousal system so it recognizes joy in real conditions. Let me give you a 7-day reset you can try without telling anyone you're doing it. Day 1. Write down your top 3 off signals and one small way to lower each by 10%. Day 2. Craft a 10-minute arrival ritual and practice it alone in the evening so it feels natural. Day 3. Curate a 5-item menu of pressure-free connection activities. Day 4. Do the 5-3-1 sensing practice 3 times across the day. Day 5. Send a message to your partner, or to yourself if you're solo, describing one small theme from fantasy you want to translate into tone, such as, "I love feeling chosen. Could you tell me one thing you appreciate about me tonight?" Day 6. Clean up one health pillar, sleep 30 minutes earlier, or drink more water. Day 7. Reflect, not on whether you performed, but on whether your body felt more included and less managed. If the answer is yes, you are on the right path. If the answer is no, adjust one variable and try another 7-day cycle. If you are single and wondering how this applies, know that your relationship with yourself is the laboratory for future ease. Practice attention, not performance. Treat dates as curiosity interviews, not auditions. If fantasy turns you on more than a date, ask, is the person emotionally safe and interesting enough for my system to even consider opening? Am I moving at my pace, or at a pace I think I should want? Desire cannot bloom in a race. Give yourself permission to be a late arriver to your own yes. Let's also address the guilt that many people carry. My partner thinks I don't want them because I don't feel much in the moment. Translate your experience into language that honors both of you. Say, my body works like a fireplace. We need kindling first. When we slow down and you touch my back and we laugh a little, I warm up. It's not you, it's my pacing. Or, I get in my head when I feel on the spot. If we take the pressure off outcomes, my interest grows. When you offer your partner a map, you give them a role they can win at. Being an ally to your nervous system, not a prosecutor of your desire. Before we close, I want to give you 3 small scripts you can use verbatim. For starting, I don't feel hot yet, but I'd like to be close. Can we take 10 minutes with no agenda and see where my body lands? For pausing, Something in me just hit the brakes and I'm listening. Can we hold each other for a minute? For declining. I care about us, and my body is a no tonight. I'd love a shower together or a back rub in a movie. These sentences are loving. They protect the relationship from the silent stories that ruin intimacy far more than a simple no ever could. And I'll tell you a secret, many clients only believe after they live it. When you stop forcing desire to behave like fireworks and let it behave like a sunrise, it becomes more reliable. Fireworks are spectacular and rare. Sunrises are gentle and consistent. You don't demand that dawn be louder. You show up for it and let it change you. In fantasy, you engineered fireworks. In real life, you can design sunrises. The glow may start subtle, but it can fill your whole sky. If, after trying these tools, you still feel stuck, please consider a consultation. Sometimes we need to untangle medical factors, revisit trauma with a trained hand, or teach a couple how to repair conflicts safely before desire can breathe. There is no shame in that. There is only care. And if you're watching this thinking, is it too late for me? No. I've worked with people in their 20s, 40s, 70s. Bodies are plastic. Brains learn across a lifetime. Kindness and practice change more than you think. I want to leave you with an image. Picture two versions of you, the fantasy you and the real life you. The fantasy you is vivid because you offered her, or him, or them, attention, permission, and authorship. Offer the same to the real life you. Give your lived self the same lighting, the same patience, the same respect for limits, the same curiosity, the same unconditional acceptance. When you treat your present tense body like the main character, not the understudy, you'll feel something shift. Not forced heat, genuine warmth, the kind that stays. You are not alone in this. You are not broken. You are a person whose desire is asking for context, safety, pacing, and presence. Give it those and watch what happens. I'm Dr. Catherine Harris, cheering for your steady, sustainable unfolding.